Fighters from the rebel group M23 have seized control of more towns in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The fighting has forced thousands of people to flee the region. Many UN-backed government soldiers have also retreated, while others have fled into neighbouring Uganda. The rebels captured the town of Rutshuru on Sunday, forcing thousands of civilians out of their homes. Now that opens the way for a possible advance on the capital, Goma, the provincial capital, about 70 kilometres to the south. The rebels seized Bunagana, an important mineral town, just 2 days before. Now the conflict in the resource-rich North Kivu province is threatening to drag the whole country into war. The violence was originally sparked by political and ethnic divisions dating back to the 1994 genocide in neighbouring Rwanda. Well, let's cross live now to Peter Greste, who's in Rumagabo, about 50 kilometres north of Goma. Tell us more, Peter, about where you are.
Well, Stephen, we're, as you say, at Rumagabo, but we're also at a very significant place in Rumagabo. This is the main military base for the entire North Kivu province. It's a particularly important military point for the government, and it's completely abandoned. In fact, almost completely. We've only found two Congolese government soldiers that have decided to stay here because they said they never received orders to abandon the base. Everyone else has simply gone, and we understand that M23 soldiers are in the hills just around here, although they have been told not to come down. But I think more than anything else, this place gives you some idea of why the morale amongst the troops is so fragile. It is an absolutely shocking state. There are market garden, or little garden patches everywhere for the soldiers to supplement their rations with food that they're growing themselves. There is no running water here. The conditions are absolutely appalling.
Peter, in the introduction to you, I talked about M23. You've just mentioned M23. Tell us, what is M23? Well,
M23 is a group of soldiers that used to be part of the Congolese army. They said that they were rebelling against the government, against the army, to force the government to honour an earlier agreement. And this agreement was made with what was then called the CNDP. It was another rebel group that was folded into the army. Those CNDP soldiers, or the ex-CNDP soldiers, are now the ones who've subsequently left. This is particularly important that we understand this. The CNDP at the time was very close, or certainly sympathetic to Rwanda, and a lot of people accused Rwanda of supporting CNDP back then, and that's why a lot of people are accusing Rwanda of backing M23 now. Now, the Rwandans have consistently denied that, but a recent UN report said they'd come up with very, very hard evidence, very clear evidence that the Rwandans were in fact backing this rebellion. M23 at the moment, as I said, has surrounded this base, or they haven't occupied it, but we understand that they've also withdrawn most of their troops from the main population centres that they had captured before. They said that if the army reoccupies that, they will then fight back to go into those towns. But their main focus now seems to be on Goma.
So is the way clear to Goma? Peter, you were in Rutshuru before your present location that rebels took as well. Is the road direct to the capital now?
No, I don't think it is. The government has withdrawn a lot of its troops to a place called Kibumba, which is an area just to the north, about 20 kilometres to the north of Goma. It's an area where there traditionally has been quite a lot of fighting, because strategically, in the way that the geography works out, it is a very good place to defend the city. We also understand that the UN peacekeepers have reinforced their positions around Kibumba as well. So if M23 does want to take that town, they will find it very difficult. But we do understand that morale amongst the Congolese army is very, very weak indeed, and that the focus of the army officers, the senior commanders, is to try to rally the troops back in, get back some kind of discipline, so that they can then first establish control over Goma, but then re-establish control over this entire region.